I'm Gaius Charles, and I played John on the NBC show Taken. John is an interesting guy. He's the leader of the Black Ops team on the show, and Hart sends him out to sort of lead the team into battle to disrupt threats against national security. And he's the guy who has to kind of rally the troops and keep everybody in order. And that gets really interesting when we bring in the character of Bryan Mills, who's not exactly a team player. The premise of the series is it's basically based off of the franchise that everybody loves. It's always interesting when I talk to people of all walks of life who've seen the Taken movies, and it's really cool to be doing the show now. Basically, the show is a prequel to the movies, and it kind of opens up the world beyond just the Bryan Mills character. It sort of goes back and traces how he developed his particular set of skills. This role was really cool for me because it was something that I was drawn to just from the Taken franchise, but also because of the action packed nature of the show, and just being able to work with some really great people like Alex Carey, Alex Graves, who did the pilot, and a really amazing cast and crew. There are some things that are familiar, and there are some things that are new. Familiar would be Bryan Mills, whom everybody loves and adores. I hear people saying, if that happened to my daughter, I'd be that guy, I'd be that dad. So we get that sort of that character who will stop at nothing to get the job done. But I think what's really cool, what's new, is that we get to see the world opened up beyond just the Bryan Mills character to the team, and to how that world bounces from the field and the operation to politics in Washington, to the backstory of Bryan Mills' personal life beyond just the future of him having a wife and a child. We get to see his parents. We get to see some of his romantic life. So I think it has something for all viewers. What's cool about John is he knows how to be a leader. They say different styles of leadership, leading from the front, leading from behind, and he knows when to give his team space. He knows when to take charge. The change up is really when Bryan comes in, because let's just say he doesn't start out as a team player, and so all the guys on the team are kind of looking at him kind of like, what's up, man? But in a way, you kind of see throughout the series, we're kind of almost fitting. Well, we've done a few episodes so far, and you kind of see him warming up to the team, him coming around a little bit, and also the team kind of growing to embrace him, so that eventually, hopefully, we can all work together smoothly and effectively. John, he takes his orders from Christina Hart. So, Christina Hart, who's played by Jennifer Beals, I have to sort it out. I have my guys who are looking at me like, hey, what's up with this new guy? But it's like, hey, I gotta deal with the boss too. So it's some really interesting kind of nuanced stuff that you see. Some of the stuff that we do, like episode 7, deals a little bit with the survival and escape training. So I believe it's called like SEER training. And so, we're taking him through the paces, and, these elite guys, they have to go through so many different levels of training. If you ever look at, various special forces and the training they do, the class and certification after certification. So one of the things that we're training him to do in that episode is to, know how to pick your moments. When find the opportunity to escape, find the opportunity to exploit your enemy. I don't want to give too much away, but there's some cool stuff there. And also, just generally, a lot of the times in the episodes, we have to kind of figure out when we're going to hang back and watch the bad guys kind of do their thing, and then find that perfect moment, that spot-on moment to go in and wrap them up. So, stuff like that, I think, helps to show the dynamic between, being a team player, learning how not to always shoot from the hip, but to be, precise, be mature, and to really know your enemy. And so, all those dynamics kind of play out as we work together as a team. I like the action, obviously, but I really like the dialogue sometimes, like some of the cleverness of it, to say something without saying it. Just the writing is really, really smart, which I think is great, because even the political writing, it's so easy to be like, to be kind of cliche. And I just feel like they found some really interesting political storylines to play that back up the action. I think, some of the dynamic that's at work in the team, we're talking to a special forces guy who was helping to train us. And he was just saying, like, sometimes you don't always call out what your next move. Sometimes you move intuitively with your team. Like, you know what they're going to do. And as they're doing their thing, you automatically just intuitively know to do, the next move. They have this kind of like, this kind of just connection because you've been together so long and you know each other so well. And then, yeah, there are those light moments where there's some sarcasm, a little flip sarcastic line to break the tension sometimes. It's really cool because you really do see that these guys have been working together for a long time and that they do care about one another.